Boys and girls, the Culling Games has been going crazy, even though it just started. But this season has been animated and executed so good. My boy Hikari, they did him justice. Even though he don't have purple hair, grape Kool-Aid ass hair, he still got a nice fro. This man got the same hair texture as me. But Kikari, she's cool. You know, she's not my cup of D. But maybe if Sukuna did some severing and some slicing, still not my cup of tea. But I don't judge Hikari. I don't. He's a gambling man. And you can't play slots without a lever. I stole that joke. I've been hearing that all over TikTok. But I'm not here to talk about Hikari and what he likes to do in the bedroom.
Spent 22 grand on a hooker, brought her home, and that bitch had a dick.
I'm here to talk about Shibuya. Even though the Culling Game's going on right now, Shibuya is still one of the greatest arcs in anime history. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If this was a fight card, it would be UFC 300. No, if it was a fight card, it would be the 10 of Diamonds. There was so much pressure and 10 out of 10 matchups in this arc. The first matchup, you got the boy Gojo going up against a talking herpesor, a walking asparagus, and a man on his menstrual cycle. The disaster curses is what we call them. This man was getting jumped, but yet he was putting fear in the heart of the people jumping him. He was reverse jumping. It's classic in anime, but the way this man was doing it, there was so much ecstasy in his eyes when he killed.
Me.
Look, he turned the 6 eyes into the sex eyes. This man was, bro, he was horny. And then the narrator don't make it no better the way she be glazing him. No better. I'm talking about this man, Jogo, sitting up here using slow motion or farming after doing nothing. Nigga, you got your hand cut off and then hid in the crowd. Like, bro, what are you doing? What is your bitch ass really doing, dog? And then you got Choso. This man in the background, like 18 feet away, social distance like a motherfucker, sniping. He didn't have the same energy for Yuji. We gonna get to that, but he was using all type of hands and feet when it came to Yuji. And then that bitch ass nigga Maiho, he pulled up with the transfigured humans, tried to get Gojo off his game. But guess what? Gojo pulled off some shit so cold. He opened his domain for 0.2 seconds. And that's all it took for him to execute all of the transfigured humans. And the way the narrator was glazing, he could have busted a nut in 0.1 second, because she was like, I ain't even gonna lie. I had this argument. Who's more glazed in their verse? Kakashi or Gojo? It's Gojo, because Gojo is stronger in his verse. Everybody just knows Kakashi. He's Mr. Worldwide.
Could perform such godlike actions.
You're Kakashi Hatake.
Isn't that right? Yes, sir. What was that? The copy ninja
Kakashi Hatake.
I am honored to meet you.
But after the narrator got finished narrating on Gojo's dick, Gato showed up and Gojo got lost in Gato's eyes. And then Kenjaku locked him up. That's crazy. Gojo got sealed by a brain right after the narrator got done giving him some brain. Crazy how the world works, or crazy how anime worked. Crazy how the Jujutsu Sorcerer world works. But after this is when the card gets started, the prelims. Because Yuji versus the Grasshopper, let's be honest, nobody gave a damn about that one. Nobody gave a damn about that one. This nigga was not clever at all.
You're a dummy.
Why were you saying you were clever so much just to get your ass beat? Nigga, you were showing no fight IQ, no battle IQ, or nothing. That was just a squash match to make Yuji look better. And then next, we got Mei Mei. It was a fake out like she was gonna fight Kenjaku, but she ended up fighting a smallpox curse. And after she won, she went to the hotel to get some She went to the hotel to become one of the most hated characters in JJK. She basically took out one curse and then took her shit and went home. I ain't even gonna lie, Mei Mei, you're not shit because multiple of your classmates died and you just at the hotel. You trifling as a motherfucker. But then after that, Yuji and Megami jumped the fuck out of somebody's old ass uncle. And I ain't even gonna lie, this nigga was ugly as hell. Why was your eyes so big, bro? You got some perk eyes, don't you? Little dirk ass eyes. Nigga, you can see the future. You can see everything except that ass whooping that you was about to get from Yuji and Megami. But we're not done abusing our elders yet, because when Toji showed up, oh god. Let's talk about the shiesty sorcerer first. I ain't even gonna lie, I like cuz. At first he was just sliding and gliding. It was like Blaze of Glory in JJK. He was real swifty with it. He was nasty with it. Until Toji showed up. He beat the shiesty off the young sorcerer. Oh my god, bro. You should have upped the switch technique or something because, wow. I've never seen a nigga get beat out his shiesty. He snatched your shit fast as fuck too. And then this man Toji so cold. He walked up to the old lady. Oh my god. This nigga said, you said kill sorcerers, right? You're a sorcerer. Smash the bitch. Oh shit. Wow. Damn. I can't, like, she's a bad character and everything, but bro, this man knocked the pearls off that bitch. Then you got Maki, Nanami, and Nobito all trying to gang up on one crab. I haven't seen 3 niggas fighting crabs since I went to that Lot Lizard convention.
Why you nasty?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Why was it so hard for y'all to defeat a lobster? Y'all niggas would die in Red Lobster. But Toji came through. Well, Megami came through at first. He would die in Red Lobster too. But that boy Toji came through. It was all eats. I ain't even gonna lie. He did Dagon so disgusting. Beat the nigga out his domain. Beat him out his domain. Showed Maki what she's supposed to be. He told Maki, get your weight up, little bitch. That's what he said. Man, Toji was so cold through the Shibuya arc. Not even gonna lie. Like Toji, he really showed why he was one of them ones. And after he finished beating up Dagon, he proceeded to give a classic beatdown, ass whooping, belt to ass on Megami. Just a father telling his son, come here. Beat his motherfucking ass. That's what he did. And I ain't even gonna lie, this is the only time I wanted to call CPS while watching an anime, because this nigga Toji threw a fucking car at his son. This how bad it was. This nigga Megami summoned Bunny Escape or Rabbit Escape, and the rabbits started fighting for their life. I saw Bruce Bunny out that bitch. Nigga, the rabbits was doing tricks to stay alive. It's Rabbit Escape and the rabbits were fighting. But thanks to Megami's battle IQ, he was able to slip Toji up and almost stab him. But during that moment, he looked the sun in his eyes and realized, my son ain't a bitch ass nigga. He can really box. So Toji stabbed himself and said, I'm glad your last name isn't Zenin. Your grandpa's a fuck nigga. And then died. That was impactful. And all that just so Megami could get snuck. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The family beef in this anime goes deep, because how you go from a father beating his son ass to an older brother giving belt to his younger brother. And Chozo versus Yuji is the exact definition of on site. Look at this nigga Choso eyes. This man looked from nonchalant, like he just faced a whole blunt, a whole 3-5, eyes low as a motherfucker, to on go, off a perk, ready for war within a span of a point second. This man went from weed to perks to totally different drugs in less than a second when he saw Yuji. And the first thing he said, that's like up in a pole the first time you see somebody. The first second you see somebody, you point your gun, because that's basically what piercing blood did. It pierced the shit. And let's be honest, if Mekamaru wasn't there to coach Yuji, Yuji would have been dead before he went in that bathroom. And I would talk about Mekamaru's fight with the Mahiho, but that's the early prelims. That wasn't even in Shibuya. But before they got in the bathroom, Yuji was just dodging, bro. Yuji can barely get in close. Choso had too many hacks. He had the piercing blood. He can turn his blood into weapons. He can make armor with his blood. He has so much blood, it'll make the Crips mad. That's how much blood Choso was bleeding. And it was crazy. But once they got in the bathroom, man, it was a war. I would have hated to been shitting while that shit was happening in that bathroom. Not even gonna lie. In the bathroom, shit went down. But Yuji, he learned that Choso kind of had hands too. Choso was boxing too, and he still had his hacks. He still had some blood up under his sleeve, and he was able to cover his skin with armored blood, dried up blood, and get the drop on Yuji. But then he started having a mental breakdown. And while he was having that mental breakdown, Jogo, he snuck Maki in them. He fingered Yuji, and that was a mistake. Because once he did that, a demon came out. Sukuna. This man Sukuna is so motherfucking disrespectful. Sukuna has said, if you're able to land one hit on me, I'll work for you. And after that nigga said that nigga turned into MC Hammer. Can't touch this. That nigga turned into Nicka Belly. You can look, but you can't touch. Cause this nigga was not getting hit. He was dipping and dodging and weaving like it was an underdog story. This man stopped 4 or 5 or 6 random sorcerers and said, nobody move until I say so. Playing with niggas' lives. And then this man said go fire for fire with the fire cursed spirit. Killed him, went to the afterlife and said, I guess you strong bitch ass nigga. Not only that, right after that, he ran another fade with Maharaga. Because Megami was not about to die to some lucky bitch ass nigga in a man bun. Not a man bun, a ponytail. Nobody, no. So he summoned Maharaga on his bitch ass. And Sukuna fought Maharaga. What I gotta say, that fight was so good that they had to make that shit in Blu-ray. Man, I don't even have to talk about Sukuna, really the MVP of Shibuya. He scarred Yuji with that fight for life. And his record was perfect. 2-0. Didn't have to have no help. Didn't jump nobody. Just him. Dolo. And that's the opposite of the next fight. We got Mahito versus Yuji. Nabara, and Toto. Damn, that's when I really learned that this is Jump Jukaisen, because niggas is not giving fair ones. Not at all. Not at all. But Mahito's, he's a hoe, but he's pretty durable because, man, when he first killed Nanami, RP Nanami too, because, bro, niggas just wanted a paycheck, bro. Niggas just wanted, bro. Income tax was about to hit, and he was about to quit once them taxes hit, bro. He didn't deserve that. But Yuji was beating the fuck out of Mahito. He was beating him so bad that this nigga literally split and ran off. And then Nabara was giving this nigga the handy mandy treatment. But you can't fix a hoe ass nigga because he ran from the fade and he touched her face with them dirty ass dick beaters that he called hands. And my baby's eye popped out. And I fell down to my knee. But that boy Toto pulled up. The big gorilla. Toto pulled up, gave Yuji a little pep talk, hit that talk no jutsu on that nigga, and then he was up. And you know, Yuji and Toto, that duo has no losses. No losses at all. But that boy Toto has to sacrifice his dick beating hand. That nigga, he like a T-Rex now. No more masturbation for him. RP Toji hand. But Yuji was able to get it done. And then that's when Kenjaku popped up. And Kenjaku, I ain't even gonna lie, he ran the gauntlet because Choso was working overtime when he found out Yuji was his brother. Like, bitch ass nigga, you gonna make me fight my brother, nigga? That man, Blood pulled up. He was getting active, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Choso, no wonder Yuji lost to Choso, because if you remember, he was holding his own. He was holding his own until Urama, I think that's her name, froze the nigga. But even though that boy Choso was frozen, he wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let it go. So Yuji had to save him. But after that, I'm pretty sure Kyoto showed up. They put up no points. They did no damage. They had to get saved. That's what happened with them. And then Yuki, she just pulled up to look sexy. That's it. But the Shibuya incident, like I said, Sukuna, perfect record. 2-0. That boy Gojo, 1-0. He's 1-0 in Shibuya. They had to seal him. That they didn't beat him. They had to seal him. And plus, he was fighting like 4 niggas at the same time and killed one of them. I'm giving him the dub. Nanami, I didn't bring up that fight he had with that little bitch ass ponytail wearing ass nigga because he's not a real player. That don't count like that. And it's hard to tally up the record because they was jumping so many niggas. And let's be honest, Nanami's record in Shibuya is not looking too good. He did die in that bitch. But Toji, I'll give him 2 wins, 1 loss. No, 3 wins, 1 loss. He killed the granny. Shiesty Sorcerer got the beats. And then he killed Dagon. And let's be honest, he just DQ. Nah, he gets 3 wins plus a DQ. He took himself out. He did take himself out. Yuji, I'll give him 2-1. 2-1. Because he beat that grasshopper curse. He jumped somebody with Megami, so I'll give him a half a point with that. And then he jumped somebody with Mahito. So that's 2-1. Megami, he gets, I'll give him, he was really an MVP. I'll give him 1.5. I'll give him that win for his dad because his dad DQ'd himself. And he jumped that old dude with Yuji. And I'll give him 2-0 because he did help with Dagon. That's the only reason Toji got in there. So he gets 2-0. And who else do I want to give some to? Oh, Choso. Choso, I'll give him 2-0 because he had to get frozen. That's the only way. They had to freeze my nigga. They had to hit that nigga with the frozen. And I ain't even gonna lie. That's enough with the records. But Shibuya was great. Rewatch it and you'll see what I mean. But Culling Games, I don't know. I ain't finished it yet. It could be better. I did read the manga though. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Love you.